Get organized during the school year. Students bring home everything, a whole lot of paperwork and other things, right? But this morning we are helping you get ahead of all that clutter before it takes over your home. Joining us now with some tips, Susanna Kay, organizing and productivity coach from Susanna Kay Organizing. Hello there, how are you?
I'm great, how are you doing?
Or should I say hello beautiful? I love that overhead there.
Yeah, hello beautiful.
So let me ask you, why do you think kids have such a hard time getting and staying organized?
Well, as adults, we have a hard time too, don't we? I mean, this is something that we taught. So we're not born coming out of the womb knowing how to be organized. Trust me, I wasn't. So there are ways that you can help teach your kids organization while maintaining your sanity throughout the school year. So that's what I'm going to share today.
And I love that, because one of the things that I struggle with is trying to decide, Susanna, what am I going to keep? What am I going to throw out? Because I think everything's important, because I'm thinking 30 years from now, I want to look back on all of these things, right?
Right? But the reality is we don't really find most of it interesting if there's too much of it.
That's
right?
true.
If you Rubbermaid bins full of everything you ever did, you don't know what's important.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the papers that they bring home, first off, throughout the school year, keep whatever supports grades and whatever they might need for end of year testing. And then keep that until the end of the year. Once the grades are finalized, that can go. But all of the memorabilia stuff, think about, is this a major milestone for your child? So my mom was brilliant. She gave my sister and I each 2 hanging file folders worth of stuff, which I am impressed by. And in it was a letter to the Tooth Fairy that I wrote for my sister, and the first self-portrait I did of myself. And all of these, like the award-winning piece of art I did in 3rd grade, all of these things that were actual milestones or showed something about my development during that time, my relationship with my family and friends, only those things did she keep. So all the random scribbles, they went in the trash, and I don't miss them.
I hope I feel the same way, because I'm keeping all those random scribbles right now. And I think one of the things that I struggle with, honestly, is I think, you know, being organized depends on age, right? Because my youngest son is a little different than my middle son, who is very different from my oldest son, who is in college, right? And so how do we get all of those things together, depending on what their ages are?
It's age and personality. Some kids are going to be more analytical, some are more creative and all over the place, like I was, but there are ways to help both of them. So if they're still young, create habits. Maybe when they come home, when they first come home, that backpack, it does not just hit the counter and they run. Maybe the first thing is they pull out all the papers that go to mom or dad or whoever, and those get passed off or put in something like your action file, wherever you keep your incoming papers. Or possibly once a weekend, maybe every Saturday before you watch cartoons, you pull out the stuff from your backpack, all the trash, you put the papers in the right places. Just create those habits, and with the little ones, do it with them. As they get older, then they're used to it, and you can expect them to do it. And then once they're much older, so middle school is about the right time to start to introduce their own small file system, because learning to file is a huge concept, and if we started early, it's going to make a lot more sense to them later. So they could have just 5 different little file folders for current work that they're working on, grades that have already been turned in and finished and they got back, notes for the end of the year tests, whatever is appropriate for your child, maybe 5 different file folders so they can learn how to file. And like I said, 6th grade, my daughter at 6th grade just got her first file thing, and she's starting to learn to use this.
Oh, I love that. That's probably one of the things that I'll go out and get today after the show. Susanna Kay, I need it. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Always good to see you. It is 9:48. Jamie King, always organized.
Well, depends who you talk to.